We have invited three guest speakers. The first was Carolina from Argentina. She had said how she had used technology in her classroom. The next was Leah Juki from USA. She shared her journey, how she is using stories to create empathy, empowerment, and engagement in a classroom full of refugee students. And last Saturday, the wonderful gentleman, Jeff, who shared his passion for STEM education. It was, Jeff, it was really, really very informative. And most of the teachers would like to meet you again and again, I told you. And tonight, a very special guest, Gustavo. He is from Mexico. Welcome, Gustavo.
Thank you.
So it's a great privilege to have you on the board and to share your experience, how you are using technology and your projects in the classrooms. So agenda for tonight, introduction for 3 minutes, then we'll followed by your presentation. Then we'll ask for the audience to have their questions and interactions with you. And finally, we'll conclude the sessions. So tonight we have special guest, Mr. Sanjay Kumar Rathore. He's an education officer here in Maharashtra. I welcome you, sir. Then my co-host Manju Chilla, she is from Sun City School, Gurgaon, Delhi, MI expert, and guest speaker, Mr. Gustavo. So Gustavo is a teacher and director of technology and learning innovation at institution of San Xavier. So he created and currently lead the Maker STEM Social Lab, a social impact program in which our girls teach public school students those technical and soft skills that are required to fit in the fourth industrial revolution and in the new creative economy. So he's going to talk today about creating innovative products for fourth industrial revolution. So I would like to request you, Gustavo, to take a lead from now and start your presentation with our teachers and those who are really excited to listen to you. It's over to you now.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to share now my screen. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for this introduction and also for this invitation to share with teachers from all around the world around my experience in this teaching journey and the way the top 50 finalists and also you amazing teachers what we are doing in order to transform our world since we decide to explore this amazing profession of teaching. So this is my teaching journey for preparing my students for the fourth industrial revolution. First of all, I want to introduce my country and some important aspects about my background in this journey. So as it was mentioned before, I'm from Mexico. Especially this school is an all-girls school in Guadalajara, which is one of the main cities here in my country, which is called City. Yeah? And in the in Mexico, which is Guadalajara, which is one of the most important cities, not only because it's one of the big ones, but it's also because the main traditions of Mexico, born here in Guadalajara, in Jalisco, which is the state in Mexico. So said so, I'm going to talk a little bit about the main strategies that I have implemented in my classroom and also in my school and in the education community here in Mexico in order to prepare our students, specifically our girls, so they can be ready for the challenges that we are facing due to the fourth industrial revolution and also this crisis and how we are going to, or how we are responding to these challenges here. So first of all, the things that I am doing in my classroom are very focused on global education. So in the picture that you can see in my screen, there are some of my students from elementary school who are having contact with some experts from the MIT. They were working on a research project based on how they can design prosthetics in order to solve some problems for some people that were damaged some of the parts of their body, so they can contact with MIT experts from this amazing university in the States. So for me, it's very important to have these opportunities for my girls in order so they can have the opportunity to meet some experts that they are doing amazing things around the world, and not only have the expertise from me as a teacher, and also from the community, from the experts that they are doing real things in the field. So for doing or accomplish this objective or this goal, I include in my learning experiences two amazing tools. One of them is Skype in the classroom. So I'm sharing with you this link so you can explore this amazing tool, which gives you the possibility to invite some experts to your classes, and also to do some virtual field trips, especially these times that we are living in this strange world. These tools are becoming very important in order to be sure to our students can have these amazing opportunities even we are not physically in a classroom. So another tool that I use in order to guarantee this global education approach for my students is this amazing tool, which is the world's largest lesson according to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. So all of the projects and all of the challenges that I give my students are based on solving the Sustainable Development Goals in order to help humanity to face those challenges and reduce inequity, not only in poverty, but also, for example, the reduction of the gender gap in STEM fields, for example, or the responsible consumption due to the circular economy that it's very meaningful these times that we are living. So another strategy that I want to share with you is to include effective pedagogies. And I'm sharing with you this this picture that is very meaningful for me, which is everyone should have the opportunity to create something that can change the world. And by integrating this mindset in my classroom, I need to guarantee that effective pedagogies it's a reality in my classroom by including some pedagogies that has at the center of interest in my learning experiences, my students, so they can become creators and innovators and exploring different areas of knowledge that can prepare them in order to change the world, or to give the solutions that the world needs, especially in these hard times, for example. So these pedagogies include not only people, but I but the main goal for these two active pedagogies, first is that a student is the main protagonist of the teaching and learning process, and also these methodologies enable or allow my students to develop skills and not only to have content that can be memorized. Very important to covering content or to cover some specific curriculum. So for you, I'm sharing with you this link where you can learn more about how to implement projects in your classroom.
Yeah, excuse me, sir. Sir, your screen is not visible. Please share it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gustavo, could you try it again? Just stop sharing and then again try to reshare it.
Is it visible? Can you see it now?
Manju ma'am?
Yes, it's visible, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so by including these active pedagogies, we will be sure that we are preparing our students in order to solve the problems that we are facing right now and in the future, right? Because we are developing some needed skills for that future or this present. Pedagogy, which I included in my classroom, in education. So by this alternative by integrating alternative learning spaces and this kind of methodology, focus on developing not only technical skills but also soft skills that are required in the 4th Industrial Revolution. We will guarantee that our students will be prepared to solve the challenges that are more important for humanity. So I'm including this, which is one of the most important framework according to how we can develop a maker mindset in our students and which kind of skills they will develop when we are introducing this kind of mindset of this kind of experiences in our classroom. So as you can see, all the skills that they will develop by introducing this kind of methodologies are the skills that are needed in this world in order to face those challenges that are presented by the 4th Industrial Revolution and the new creative economy. So I'm sharing with you as well some interesting tools for this because, for example, for me in Mexico and the major part in the world, we are closing right now. So how can we guarantee these amazing learning experiences based on these pedagogical approaches so our students can continue developing these technical skills and soft skills so they can be prepared for this 4th Industrial Revolution. So if you want to develop the computational thinking, and not only by using technology, but also for those students that have not access to technology or an iPad or a PC, they can find here in this first resource, which is called the code.org, not only technical tools, but also some unplugged activities that can help students to develop this computational thinking, which is one of the more important technical skills in this 21st century. The second tool that I want to share with you is this Tinkercad, which is a tool where students can learn the basics on 3D modeling and printing, but not only that, but also they can learn the basics on electronics. So this is a very interesting tool, so students can have these skills on digital fabrication tools and also electronics. This third tool is Instructable. So now the students spend a lot of time at home. So because our buildings are not closed, they can take some ideas so they can implement some maker projects by checking this third resource, which is Instructables. And finally, this popular tool, which is also to learn the basics on coding. So by living these hard times, it's not possible to go into our maker spaces and digital fabrication labs, but they can, students and also teachers can learn a lot from these resources. So we are prepared for the skills that are needed in this new creative economy. Specifically in my school, we are working in initiatives to empowering girls and young women into STEM in order to close the gender gap that is presented in the 5th goal of the United Nations 2030 agenda. So we have been working in these initiatives since 3 years ago, and results are amazing here. So in our school, we have passed from a 50% of girls interested in studying some STEM related field to more than 50% of our girls now are deciding to study a career related to engineering, science, technology, and mathematics. So and we are achieving this by introducing role models to our girls, which is one of the biggest problems because girls are not choosing this kind of careers because they are not exposed to role models experience in the field. So we are working with amazing and extraordinary women around the world, which are doing amazing things in the field of research in science and technology development. So our girls can learn from their experience and how they are doing amazing things in the world so they can change the world and also respond effectively to the challenges that are presented by the fourth industrial revolution. As well, we are implemented alternative learning environments such as makerspaces. We have implemented some of the most amazing projects for preschool. For example, we implemented a maker space specifically for kindergarten and also for elementary school, middle school, and high school. So our alternative learning environments has changed dramatically the way not only our students have been learning, but also the teachers, how they are teaching some curriculum, and not only that, but also how they are helping students to develop the skills that are needed in this new creative economy and the fourth industrial revolution. So as an example, we are not starting by building makerspace because it represents a lot of money, but we can start by transforming our libraries, for example, which is one of the most helpful things that we can do in our schools, transforming our library into alternative learning environments where a maker STEAM education can happen here. So these are some pictures in our spaces and how our girls are learning right now. And finally, these kind of things that we are doing in our school, which is a privileged school in Mexico, compared with all the schools that are in the public sector. By understanding this, it's very important that our students understand that their responsibility of having this kind of amazing learning experiences, it's an obligation so they can share the best practices with more disadvantaged communities or the communities that are in a vulnerable situation in our country. So we are implemented some social impact programs in our school, in our alternative learning environments. Some students from the public education sector in Mexico have been trained by our girls in those skills that are required in this new creative economy. So we have strong partnerships, not only with industry, but also with those schools in more disadvantaged communities, so we can make a real social impact. So, well, I think that's it. This is what I wanted to share with you. These are my contact information. So if you want to partner with me in some of the amazing projects that we can handle internationally, so your students be benefited from this learning experience of another country, and also students can be benefited from your expertise and students and you as well have. So, well, thank you very much. I'm sharing so you can.
Okay, thank you so much, Gustavo, for sharing your journey, with girls from